Top 10 fragrances for winter, niche edition. How's it going, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the Sense channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. To all you people who have been loyal supporters of the channel and continue to support the channel, salute! And to all you new people stopping by, stay inside, stay here with me, because the weather outside is frightful, and my videos are so delightful. As I said previously in the intro, these are my top 10 niche fragrances. Even though I feel like I shouldn't have to reiterate this, these are the top 10 fragrances that me, will be wearing this winter and what's left of this winter. These are not necessarily my favorite fragrances that are winter fragrances that are niche. These are the ones that I will be wearing, and these are ones that I enjoyed this winter and will continue to enjoy. Coming in at number 10, guys, is a fragrance from the House of Creed. It is Royal Oud. This is a woody McWoody fragrance. You're gonna get cedar, you're gonna get oud or agarwood. You're also gonna get some sandalwood in this. This is just a refined, fancy, gentlemanly, woody fragrance. If you're under the age of like 30, just steer clear, guys. It's one of the more expensive fragrances or offerings from the line. It's also more expensive on the gray web than the other Creed offerings. It's kind of right up there with Aventus or right below Aventus and just before everything else. Go with something else, man. Go with Santal, go with Green Irish Tweed, go with Aventus, go with something else. It's gonna work. This probably won't work for you. Coming in at number 10 for this guy who's over 30, Creed's Royal Oud. At number 9, this is my favorite fragrance from the house. It is often not talked about when it comes to this house. It's usually Layton Exclusive, Carlisle. You see where I'm going. No, guys, it's not Herod, which would be what you would expect me to say. Haha! It's Parfums de Marley's Habden. Shout out to my buddy Bradley Harrison from the channel Triple Ink, who no longer makes videos, who sadly just let us know he will not be making any more videos. No, Bradley has not passed away. I know there's been some confusion on that note. No, he's definitely in good health. He just really doesn't feel like making any more videos. Moving on to the fragrance, Parfums de Marley Habden is a spicy caramel apple. That is the best way I can describe it. It's a woodsy, spicy caramel apple. You're mainly gonna get myrrh, caramel, and apple. There's gonna be a bunch of other notes in there. I didn't write them all down, and I don't have a cue card somewhere right here, so I'm just giving you what I can remember and what I smell. This is a very sophisticated fragrance. It is very strong at first. Don't just spray this on your hand or on a strip of paper, smell it for 2 seconds and be like, oh, this is trash. Let it develop. This is a fantastic fragrance. And for all you people who don't really care for Parfums de Marley because you think it's kind of a clone house, nothing else like it. Definitely check it out. Parfums de Marley Habden. Coming in at number 7 is a fragrance from the House of Memo. I got this during the fall. I should have made a bunch of haul videos, but I was way too busy to make any videos because I would have told you about this and how much I love it. The bottle I got is gigantic. I got a really good trade on Facebook fragrance groups. And yeah, the fragrance we're talking about is African Leather by Memo. As you can see, this is like a really big bottle, and the bigger bottle is all solid gold. It's a 200 milliliter bottle. It's probably about yay full, so it's got about 100 mils in it, but man, this is so good. This is like a refined, slightly more animalistic leather. This is not gonna be your commercial leather like your ombre leather. It's not super sweet like Tuscan leather. This smells like leather. If you wanna smell like a man, and this is what your goal is, and you're like, I want to smell like a man, this is a great one, guys. Check it out. That's African Leather. And number 7 is my favorite fragrance from the house. No, not wood sage and sea salt, not myrrh and tonka, Rip Chris. The fragrance we're talking about is, in my opinion, the most wearable and fresh and smooth oud on the market, hands down. Jo Malone's Oud and Bergamot. Jo Malone's Oud and Bergamot is exactly what it sounds like. It's a oud fragrance that is solid at the base with a fresh up note of bergamot. It's going to make it wearable. It's going to make it airy. It's not going to be so dense and dank and dirty. Honestly, if I didn't know what other ouds smell like, I would think that oud was one of my favorite notes, but I've smelled oud in other fragrances, and some of them it's really rough. But this one, best oud in my opinion by far. Only knock on this bad boy is that it doesn't last. As with every other Jo Malone fragrance, these fragrances tend to just away. So if you're okay with paying the cost of this and you're okay with spraying again and again and again, then guys, this is a really, really good one. And you're not gonna smell like anybody else, but you're also not gonna off-put anybody else. Oud and Bergamot, Jo Malone. At number 6, this is a fragrance that is all about, in my opinion, transportation, because the house does it better than any other house. It's an indie house. I know it's not niche, but I classify indie as something along with niche. It's like it's Robin to Batman. So this fragrance right here is something that transports me to a time when I was a kid, before my parents bought that fake tree, which I think is an abomination. And we used to go to the place where you buy Christmas trees, and I remember walking and just dragging my hand across the bottom of the trees and smelling it in the air and just thinking it was just the most wonderful time. Now, it just cost me a lot of money. The fragrance we're talking about from the House of Imaginary Authors is Cape Heartache. No, it's not Camp Heartache like I said in my video when I reviewed this. This is a Christmas tree with strawberries. It's got other notes, but that sweetness from the strawberries, you're gonna get it, but you're gonna mainly get the Douglas fir note. This smells like a Christmas tree. So if you want to smell like a sweet, warming Christmas tree in the middle of the winter, boom, you got it here. So this is not going to be Acqua di Gio, Profumo, and Bleu de Chanel. That's not what this does. This is art. This is amazing. You should definitely check out the House Imaginary Authors, Cape Heartache. Coming in at number 5 is from the private collection of Tom Ford. Yes, I know it's a designer house, and no, private collections are not niche. At the end of the day, the quality is niche. So if I want to say it's niche, it's niche. The fragrance we're going to be talking about, guys, is Oud Wood. I got the big boy bottle because I got a heck of a deal. This right here is just so smooth. It's kind of got a lot of the same vibe as Oud and Bergamot, as a very wearable oud. It's also one of those fragrances that doesn't last very long, but I feel like this is a little more refined and more sophisticated. This is a little more gentlemanly. This is something you definitely want to wear with like a nice button down, with maybe a nice tie and some slacks and some nice Allen Edmonds for all you shoe guys out there. This one is definitely gonna work for you in that aspect. I really enjoy it. It's brand new to my collection, about 3 or 4 months old. You should definitely check it out if you haven't, but I'm sure you have. That's Oud Wood by Tom Ford. Coming in at number 4 is another fragrance from a small independent line, but makes great fragrances, and they are very much niche quality. The fragrance we're talking about is from the House of Perfumeology and my buddy Near, that's Clutch. When it comes to a slightly fresh leaning, deep, dense winter fragrance, Clutch comes in the clutch. In my opinion, this is like if you took Pure Havane and made it slightly fresh. Like, this is everything you'd want from Pure Havane and much more. Maybe it doesn't smell exactly like that does, but if you had to have like a vein of fragrances, that's where this fits. Like how Dylan Blue, Sauvage, and Coach Platinum and all those kind of sit in that same lane. That's what this one does. This is fantastic, and you'll definitely be seeing a review on this one soon. I had to put it in the list because it belongs in the list, even though I haven't reviewed it. Go check them out at Perfumeology.com. That's Clutch by Perfumeology. Coming in at number 3 is another fragrance from an indie house. I probably should have called this list my indie niche list, but you know what? I think you got the point. This is the Middle Eastern mobster, the most amazing fragrance from the line. No, it's not Panda, and if you think it is, you're wrong. No, it's not Hummingbird. No, it's not Bat. No, it's not Civet. It's not any of those. This is the best fragrance from the line. I fell in love with it at first sniff, and I can never get enough of it. The fragrance we're talking about is Camel. Camel does everything and anything you need a winter fragrance to do. It's ultra unique though. It's got this dried fruit accord. It smells like dates and all of those things you may have gotten in a bazaar where you walk up and you grab them, and kind of like the dude from Aladdin when he's like, sugar dates and pistachios. This one does it. It just rocks. And it's fantastic. You should definitely go get yourself a sample pack from the line of Zoologist and just smell all of them. They're ultra realistic, they're ultra fantastic. This fragrance house leans kind of like Imaginary Authors leans in an artistic aspect, and it's more about animals' habitats. No, they don't use real animal stuff. No, they don't hurt animals to make these fragrances. They're actually very conscious about that, and the bottle design is beautiful. You should definitely check out Zoologist, and you should definitely check out Candle. Coming in at number 2 is a fragrance that if you're a man and you wear tuxedos and you want to smell good, you should wear this. The fragrance we're talking about is YSL's Tuxedo. You see what I did there? It's clever. Right, Ashton? Clever. YSL Tuxedo comes from the YSL private line, and much like Tom Ford's private line, I consider it niche. Don't care if you don't like that. This is a spicy, patchouli, maybe slightly leather fragrance. I don't know, I haven't checked the notes. I'm just telling you what I get from it when I smell it. It's just really, really sophisticated. I think it's probably one of the most underrated fragrances out there when it comes to the average nose. Now, a lot of people who collect may have smelled this, but a lot of my viewers who may not be collectors may be like, man, I need to check that out. Cuba from the channel Cubano Knows Fragrance, or Cubano Fragrance, will tell you that this is one of his favorites and that he put it on the map. I think he kind of did. It took me a while to get one, and as you can see, I split that mug because these things are mad expensive and you can't get it on a discounter. So I just split it off and kept what I could keep, you know? That's what you got right there. So YSL Tuxedo at number 2. Coming in at number 1 is a fragrance from an indie house, but their quality of their ingredients are fantastic. And this fragrance is super, super, super special to me. I had a part in the creation of this fragrance and helping it come to fruition, but ultimately it had nothing to do with me. I'm not important. I think you all know that. The fragrance we're talking about is from the house of Matriarch, and it is Ambercris. Ambercris is a creation from the house of Matriarch made by Christy Michelle in honor of our fallen comrade, Mr. Siage. Chris Giorgio had a channel called Mr. Siage on YouTube. We were really good buddies. We talked often, and we ultimately lost him, and he went on, he moved on, and it was entirely too early. But the fragrance world will never forget him, and thanks to this fragrance, I will also never forget him. Just a quick description of this fragrance, which I've already done a video on it, which I'll leave a link below. This is a fluffy, sweet, strong, piercing, just great amber fragrance, and it's got myrrh and tonka in it, which is really cool because that's 2 of Chris's favorite notes. It's a limited supply fragrance, so you probably couldn't get your hands on it. If you've smelled it or you're really curious, you can always hit Christy Michelle up and say, hey Christy, maybe you should make full-size bottles of it. I know for sure if she did, I would definitely try to get my hands on one. Coming in at number 1 on my niche, indie, private line, private collection list is Ambercris. All right, females and fellas, thank y'all so much for being fragrant and hanging out with me while I talk about these fragrances you may not even heard of or you may not be interested in. I hope you were interested in some of them, and I hope you go and get to smell them. Thank you so much for sticking around and joining the channel and being a part of what I do here. As always, guys, boom, boom, yeah, haha, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't, it's cool. And you know what I'm gonna say next. I'll smell you later, guys. Peace!